Yo, what's up, mother cluckers? We're gonna go over how to reflect on the past year effectively. New year, new me type shit. We're gonna do it over Minecraft Bedrock gameplay because I'm too broke to afford Java. And that's all we're gonna get for now. First, I like to break it up into a couple simple questions for you to really understand how the year went for you, even though you did live your year. You maybe haven't internalized what you did during it. The first being, are you content with where you are right now? This includes your financial situation, how have you met your goals, and has your mood stayed consistent throughout the year? Has there been ups? Has there been downs? Most likely. Another question I'd like to ask is, what significant changes have you had over the past year? So, positive or negative changes, anything that was significant to your character or your current situation. And then, lastly, this one doesn't seem as important, but what are some things you can appreciate from the past year? It really helps going into the next year to see what you can do better or what you should really take into account about yourself and your family, you know? So, knowing this baseline for this year helps with the next section, which is breaking up your year into a couple area of responsibilities, I like to call it. So, for example, I like to break mine up into mind, body, socials, and goals. So these so-called area of responsibilities can get more specific. Let's say if you're a boxer, you can say that boxing is one for you. Or if you are really big into your financials as a separate category, then that's fine. But it's good to keep things simple when auditing your whole year. A couple you might recognize the term area of responsibilities as something used in the military to kind of section out like different commands, but in this case, area of responsibilities is just for you to get a better grasp of how much energy you're putting into something. So let's say I'm really big into the gym right now. I'm putting a lot into my body and I'm being very healthy. Let's say I'm lacking on something more mindful. Let's say I'm not being meditative. I'm not getting my work done for my job or school. So it really helps you section out what part of your life are you putting in more work than others. After establishing your categories, I like to list out the things that have contributed or happened within those categories and whether they've been a positive or negative thing. This is pretty similar to what you were doing before with the simple questions, but this goes more in depth. With the inclusion of each category, you can be way more specific about what you've accomplished or achieved this year. And with the categories, it allows you to section it out better so you know what to plan for next year effectively. Armed with this knowledge, you can kind of scope out how you feel about this year generally on a greater sense than just normally, subconsciously. And for planning for next year, it's easy to plan on the macro scale, but I find it very effective to start planning on a week-by-week basis in tandem with your longer plans. So you can stay more consistent about your major goals. So let's say one of my major goals this year was to lose weight, which it wasn't, but just as an example. Then on a log scale, I could say, hey, I want to lose 20 to 30 pounds, you know. But for a weekly goal, I can slowly decrease the amount of calories from my calorie maintenance. So then I start losing that weight throughout the year, but it's not as daunting as saying, oh, I have this amount of time to lose this amount of weight. Planning on a week-by-week basis also shows you what you're putting your time into for most of the week or most of the days of this year, which it kind of catches you by surprise by the end of the year what you've done. So by checking in every week, you wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year and you know what you've been doing. When also planning for your goals for next year, make sure to keep your hobbies and interests as something you keep account of as a place of investment within the year. It should be a part of your goal list, and it's because if you don't include it, then let's say, you know, you're taking a day off, you know, you're playing piano, you're reading some books, or you're just scrolling reels or something, then it wouldn't be a loss of time because you've already accounted for it in your major planning this year. Because it is important to have that time off for yourself. Productivity does happen over time, so make sure to not get burnt out at the beginning of the year. Really, there's too many times near the beginning of the year I see a bunch of people come to the gym, but then there's massive drop-offs like within the first 3 months of the year. If you're gonna make my workouts longer, at least stay consistent with it, you know? Physical planners are also cool. I've heard that the app Notion is pretty good, but I genuinely can't get to use it. If you can use it, then that's fine, but I just get pretty annoyed that I can't make a perfect Notion page, and I just end up not using it because it's not a good Notion page. But if you can get around that hurdle, then you're better than me, you know? Realistically also, you shouldn't be waiting till the start of the new year to start planning to better yourself or to start going in a new direction. You should just do that anyway. Doing it at the start of a new year is pretty cool, but you've got to have the discipline to just start things when you want to start it and not just wait till the end of the year and delay it, because, you know, that's a part of your mindset. It's not a huge thing, but it is something to keep yourself accountable to, especially for like long-term goals, because realistically 12 months is not that much time. It's enough time to do a lot, but it's also just not that time at all if you don't use it correctly. So just keep yourself accountable in that regard. What I ended up doing is before 2026 starts, I broke up my actions into a monthly and a weekly audit. Not that I plan every action I do, but I just hold myself accountable. So I go through the week, and then at the end of the week, I just audit what I did. And then by the end of the month, I add up those things, and then that's kind of like the monthly audit. Also, I created plans leading up to what I wanted to do before the year ends. And the year ending is an arbitrary time frame, but it's just something, you know, people do, you know, it's nothing crazy. So that was one of the things I wanted to do, just create that audit system. Some of my goals for next year include getting a higher bench and squat, doing better for academic stuff, and then kind of trying to create more income streams and just work on stuff like that. I may or may not use this channel to keep me accountable. We will see. But yeah, that's the best way to kind of audit yourself. Also, I did follow my own advice. I am keeping account for my hobbies and stuff, and that's what you guys should do too. You could also plan some, I guess, contingencies in case you don't stay consistent, but honestly, that's way too much. You shouldn't plan that much into your year. Just live your life. Just keep yourself accountable with how you live your life is pretty much the bottom line of this. Because you could plan so much, but if you're not consistent, if you don't got discipline, then you may or may not be able to enact your plans. Yeah, it's all about that. Just stay consistent. You know, what's up, chicken butt? If you like this video, subscribe or something. This is the end of the video. I have nothing else to say. Adios, gang.